welcome. These will be my thoughts on The Bear, Season 5, Episode 3, Mint. The episode is rated CVMA, so this video B. There will be spoilers of the show leading up to and including this episode, but not for any episode after this one. I appreciate that. I think all of them are already online. Haven't watched past this one as I record this. And yeah, another episode that I love. So I appreciated, this episode delivered something we knew was coming. I appreciate them getting to it this soon, because, like, let's see. It has been a little... Yeah, it was at some point in Season 4 that Carmi decided to quit, and then, like, did the contract and everything. And it was at the end of that season that some of them found out, and then here, only 3 episodes into this season, and I think this is still like 10 episode season or something, now everyone working at the Bear knows. Everyone not working at the Bear, well, that's an exaggeration. Jimmy and Cheese also know. And I think that does... Yeah, that is the preamble. Let's get into... try to keep this chronological. So yeah, I quite like the thing about so yeah, they are having trouble with all that water. They are family whistling with a cacaw, and Richie's not having it. I kind of want to know why Natalie is so reluctant. I understand why she immediately regrets it, but what happened in the past that made her this determined not to give them the walkie-talkies? And I also love how it doesn't end up actually helping all that much, but there is a lot of over and outing because mentally they are still, 12. But yeah, the fact that as soon as Richie gets it, like, yeah, we the audience can also tell this is a bad idea. I guess that pretty much... Let's see. Where does that leave us? That gets us to the Yeah, there was the part where they're pushing the water together, which, like, that is a fascinating way to approach that. And Neil says, I can't be alone in water this deep, which, I mean, I suppose, okay, he must have some, like just a fear of water, because that, yeah, I don't know, my sympathies. But I think that does pretty much get us to the yeah, so they start talking about the roof, and then, he says, he's going off rope, and Richie's not sure which rope. It's a metaphor. But there's also a smell, but that doesn't really apply here. And yeah, Richie starts, like, banging the I think it's like it's like the broom, I think. Knocking that into the ceiling to see if Ted can hear it, and it's such a goddamn clusterfuck. It's really funny. And I also thought they did a really great build-up to, so once again, like, we knew at some point it was going to come out, and because it's this show, of course it's going to get, awkward, and it's going to happen in a way that is less than ideal. But yeah, the reveal that Carmi quit because Sid is getting increasingly annoyed at him, and the thing about, more space. And she really is trying to just, to not let it get out of control. And then the fucking micromanaging, like I 100% empathize with her. And I do appreciate that he's gotten a lot better at apologizing and acknowledging, because a lot of this shit is his fucking fault. Like, he really needs to get more to control himself in these situations. And because, like, there's the thing about, like, oh, I was trying to help, and she's like, I didn't ask for your help. Because that's the thing, like, there is, he could have, like, tried to determine if she wanted, just like, like if he just said chef, so that she, to get her attention, and she looks at him, he could, like, do a nonverbal of, like, hey, do you need help here? And he doesn't. He just jumps right in, and yeah. I feel like that pretty much. Oh my god, the bit with yeah, Jimmy and Donna on the phone. She swears profusely, and I'm pretty sure the kid's so little that, you know, by the time this kid starts talking, they're not gonna repeat these words. I hope so. But yeah, as usual, like, goddamn, Jamie Lee Curtis, still amazing. And I know I've said it before, but literally, look at what she's been delivering for almost 50 fucking years, since 1978. Unreal. And, hit the ground running. Incredible right from the start. And, yeah, the thing about, like, are you telling me you don't remember selling the air rights? And she's like, I don't know what air rights are, and I don't know what ice fishing is. Full disclosure, I have never heard those two words used together before right now. And then her power goes out, which, like, god damn, yeah, that really is completely fucked. Not a lot of cheese this episode. I hope future episodes will have more, but she was great, as usual. So, usual. It's only the second time, but still. And yeah, I also just appreciated how much they get out of, like, they are not afraid to milk things on this show, um, which is good. It's not necessarily the healthiest to be, like, genuinely, like, obviously, again, if you have a personal issue, I hope you're able to work through that, but you shouldn't think of milking as some, like, really, really scary scenario. Do not be Jordan Peterson. And you're welcome. Did you forget that happened? I don't think we should forget that happened. That was a thing that actually happened, and it's very, very telling about how utterly some people are incapable of seeing reality for what it is, because they've gone so far deep rabbit holes. And yeah, gonna move on. But yeah, milking it, so it's not just like once or twice. It just keeps going, over and over. Carmi reaches over. First it's the string, and then she moves the string, and then it's the fucking tape. And again, like, I'm sorry, I do think it is telling that, she's the one, she moves both the string and the tape, not him, even though, like, clearly both of them appreciate this is a problem. And yeah, I do think, I don't know, in a way, I'll miss, like, hypothetically, let's say the show ends without him working there at all. In a way, there's the sort of, it's bittersweet, but I do appreciate, he says in this episode he doesn't love it anymore, and so he's not going to be able to do his best. And yeah, like, he keeps doing things that clearly don't work, and she's immediately like, let's do it different then. And oh right, and oh my god, the fucking thing about like, okay, so we have a few more, a turn and a half. It's 3 turns. It's 3 turns, Gary. And yeah, the fucking app, you know, fucking A, it finally started working again, and that was again a good bit of you know, because the episode before this one, I believe it was, or was it the first episode of this season? Anyway, the app, you know, went in and out, and now it's back, but it's also just it kept accepting these fucking reservations, and that is also a thing. Like, you know, sometimes computers don't do what we want them to do, and the fact that their interface, because they're running a different interface than the people reserving, you know, by necessity. They have access to tools that, you know, people just using it to reserve do not. And let's see, I think, I mean, okay, hypothetically, you know, maybe someone logs on to the user app, but what would that, I mean, it'd get a heads up, but they wouldn't be able to stop reservations through that, you know, so yeah, I think that does bring us to, yeah, so the yeah, Sid starts, you know, trying to do the yeah, the pep talk, and she is struggling a little bit. You know, she does start repeating herself, and we can understand why Carmi saw it as you know, but at the same time, yeah, like just check with her first, you know, and yeah, so he takes over and he says, you know, we're gonna keep grooving, and then she says, quit, but we're gonna keep grooving. Yeah, sure. And it's one of those things of like, listen, she has pushed down the things she wanted to say to him so many times for so long, and eventually it just, you know, she blurted that out. And yeah, appreciate the editing, the reaction shot use. And yeah, you know, Jimmy hears. I like Cheese's reaction too. Just yeah, it's like yeah, I don't know. I feel like Jimmy probably looks at this like those assholes who made sure Brexit happened and then resigned from office, which like I'm not sure I believe that should actually be legal. I'm not even exaggerating. I think if you make a mess like that, you stay and fucking clean it up, or you pay like a ridiculously large fine for refusing to clean up. Like, goddamn. Anyway, the I guess that pretty much, and yeah, once you know, Jimmy's reaction is understandable. I appreciate that even Richie's like, Jesus Christ, that's going kind of far. You would know. And I think, yeah, and she's, you know, I think it's one time in the episode we see her face, but she's, we're all aware there's a man on the roof, right? It's not a man, it's a fact. And I guess that pretty much, I wanted to say, yeah, what else? So there's obviously the very ending of the episode that actually might be all that I had to say for this one. I appreciated the conversation between Carm and Sid. I gotta watch more that she's in. I think I may have already mentioned, but I really, you know, her work was great, not just here, but also in Inside Out 2, which in general I found a lot to love about that one. I'm eyeing a thing or two to that I might watch that she's in. Anyway, I believe that pretty much... No promises yet. Need to find access to them. Anyway, I think that might just about bring us all the way to the ending. Let's see. I guess the right. I also like the little bit of a setup and payoff and kind of expectations version of, so when we tell them, since we talked about it, I think it would be best if it came for you. And then, yeah, by the end of the episode, it has come from her. And I really did appreciate, like, he doesn't make, like, a huge deal out of, oh, it was, you did it wrong. That was the wrong timing or something. Yeah, and the thing with, like, that's too high of a heat. You didn't even look at the number. No, but I can hear it. I am warming up the plate. And the thing with, like, okay, so we're going to have to thin this out. So water, broth. And she's like, yes, I mean, butter. I can feel your eyes on me. Is it not butter? If it's butter, just say something. Just, yeah. And yeah, her metaphor with the UPS, that was great because it's so true. Like, he really fucked this up. He's been burning the candle at both ends for so long. And yeah, and the thing about, why would I read a business agreement? You no longer, what was it? You no longer have a business or something along those lines. Just, yeah. I think that might just about... I did appreciate that Carmi was able to tell the others it's not that he doesn't have faith in them. It's that he doesn't love what he does, and he's not sure he ever did. Because that is a very important distinction to make. But yeah, this is definitely gonna, this is the show. They added extra pressure onto an already impossible situation. And I do also appreciate, like, yeah, I mean, technically, if some fucking how they make sure, if they can do 3 turns without getting dizzy, I appreciate, yeah, that would make them a lot of money. That would be, really, really good for their situation. Right, and they're gonna have to, what was it, Brussels sprouts, fried Brussels, that does not sound like the best thing, but yeah. And apparently they have a thief, a spoony one. The restaurant is running out of spoons, which, yeah, I mean, I don't know if that was purposeful, but the fact that it's specifically spoons, because there's all the other utensils, considering that is, fairly reasonable to become like this metaphor for, people with disabilities, talking about, like, there's only so much they can do over the course of a day. And yeah, bait for the spoon thief was also quite good. And yeah, the thing about, Ibrahim talking about, hey, I have something I want to tell you about. Don't interrupt me when I'm don't, or is it don't repeat when I'm... No, yeah, something. And do not distract me with your beautiful blue eyes. And then he finds out that Carm quit, and he throws the, the proposal he had. And that's also because, like, the proposal does also sound like it could help, but it's difficult for Ibrahim to... yeah. Yeah, and I like the, the Tina doesn't yell. She's just like, listen, I do not have the capacity for a goodbye right now. And I'm not saying she wouldn't be justified in yelling. But the, yeah, I think that does get us to the ending. And yeah, it was great that, so Sid just built up to, she's ready to give the big speech, and there's hardly any stumbling this time, and she doesn't like stop or start just repeating herself or something. And then, I think she just barely said, we can do this, nothing else is gonna go wrong, or something like that, and then he falls through the roof. Jesus fucking Christ, just, yeah, amazing. And they really are great at, like, they must spend quite some time in the writer's room just figuring out, like, what else can go wrong, to quote Lindsay Ellis. Because it genuinely is, like, holy shit, how do you have this many individual things fall apart? Because this is a distinct issue from the pipes, it's different, like, yeah, let's see. Are they called roofers in English? Danish here? Something like that, compared to, because pipes, that's like, do y'all call that VVS too, or is that a Danish thing? I forget. But yeah, completely different people, which I guess hypothetically maybe the roofer can come by before the, because the pipe person could not. We were already told that, but yeah, and that does kind of step on Sid's moment as she is delivering this speech, and she's literally just said, "Nothing bad can happen. It can only good happen."